Like sometimes you see game developers, especially like indies and small game developers, like they make something, the players beat it, they have a lot of fun, and then like they make something harder, and it's like okay, and then the players play it, all right, this is still good, and they beat it, okay, cool, good addition, and then they make it harder, and then the players, this is getting ridiculous now. But they need to play like this is getting tough, and then they keep playing, and then the game developer just keeps making it harder and harder and harder and harder and harder until it's no longer fun, and then nobody plays the game past that point. And it's like, a game's not about being hard, it's about being fun. Yes, the players beat it, doesn't mean it's a bad game. I mean, if players beat it, it means they enjoyed enough to play it to the end. So like make something of a similar difficulty, but fun in a different way. Don't make it just harder just for the sake of making it harder, right? Okay, so do I have iron bars here? Why do I seem to remember I have a lot of iron bars somewhere? Is it in the glass? It's with the glass, isn't it? Except maybe I don't want to use those. Iron bars. Glass? Okay, we have these iron bars. Might as well use them. And I might as well... How do you make iron bars, by the way? Iron ingots? Iron bars is iron ingots, okay. Put the nuggets away, get the blocks. Um... How does that work? Let me put these away. Multiples of 6 because you need 6 iron ingots to make 1 iron bar, right? So 6 of those. Makes 2 and a bit. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's like 12 of those. Okay, let's not make too many. Pick this up. Alright, let's see how far we get with these iron bars. And like the people who make the mods, the automation mods, maybe they're not gamers. Maybe they're like actual software developers. Because they're not making the game harder. This instinct of trying to make the game harder, they don't seem to have it. They're trying to make the game more interesting, more fun, more useful. However, there's one set of mods that are designed to make things very much harder. Well, that's a gamer. Takes months to get through that mod pack. You know, I mean, I know what I just said, but I mean, there is a market for ridiculously difficult things. I mean, there are people who are into that. But that's not mainstream, like that's not the majority of your customers. So I'm not saying like you can't make things hard. I'm just saying that that needs to be like an option, right? It's not that can't be the default. I mean, I admit sometimes I enjoy the super hard option because it's, you know, it's a challenge. I'm not much of a gamer, but I do, you know, enjoy a challenge every now and then, sometimes. I mean, I think most game designers understand what I'm saying. It's often it's like an indie mistake sometimes. But I think people figure it out. You know, once you start making the game, once you start getting feedback, you need to balance the basic experience for a general audience. And then on top of that, maybe you put in some extra hard stuff for the for the crazy people, for the maniacs. How's that? Pretty good. Six, 10, 20. Half a stack each time? Just thinking how much iron do I convert into bars each time for maximum efficiency. 3/4 of a stack? Oh, the wandering trader doesn't spawn in here anymore, does he? Because of the roof? Let's check when we get over the ocean. Keep in mind. think I have enough iron for this. I'm just like looking at how far I'm getting and thinking about how much iron I used so far. Okay, so the diagonal is going to be super slow. Let me just do that now, I guess. So 26 should get us maybe this many bars? Right. I actually estimated that completely right. So 20 something? So 32 would be about this much. Maybe like this much, maybe this much. Okay, so half a stack each time is probably the easiest way to think about it. And the diagonals are slow. I mean, maybe now that they've fixed the entity lag, they will put in more automation. I mean, it's possible that part of the consideration is that if they know they're putting in too many hoppers, will eventually just, lag the game until it's unplayable. Well, then you don't want to encourage people to put in a lot of hoppers. Because then even if they try to do the automation thing, they're still going to complain about it, because it's going to lag the game. But now that they've fixed that, well, maybe they're less hesitant to encourage players to build stuff with a lot of hoppers, right? Maybe. I mean, there are a number of things in the game still, actually, that are potentially dubious. The fact that you can spawn chickens from eggs, and the fact that you can collect eggs automatically with hoppers and then have the hoppers automatically feed them into dispensers. to automatically throw them to create chickens. It's cool that that allows you to automate a chicken farm, which I have. But it's also kind of dangerous in the sense that you can get infinite chickens if you're not careful. And infinite chickens will crash the game, right? I haven't tested it, but it's possible that they might have a hard limit on how many entities can be active at the same time, like how many mobs can be active at the same time. And maybe they just stop spawning them once you reach the limit. I haven't seen like an automatic egg thrower fail to generate chickens because of too many mobs. So I don't actually know if that's a thing that happens. But it probably should be, because you don't want infinite chickens, right? And maybe mob spawners? Mob spawners only work when you're nearby, and they only spawn if there are like less than 5, I think, nearby. But you can always just like spawn 5, move the 5 further away, and then keep spawning more, right? I don't know if we can break the game like that. Again, they're mobs, and so if there's like a hard cap that eventually stops new mobs from spawning if there are, you know, X number of mobs in loaded chunks, maybe you can do it. Maybe you can just like prevent that from crashing the game in that way. The thing is, around my home base right now, theoretically it has reached a spawn cap. Mostly the gold farm, but also I guess the chicken farm. They generate so many mobs that fish no longer spawn. It's a strange thing to say. Right, Minecraft logic. But if you're around the gold farm and you go in the water, there's no fish, there's no drowned. Because the spawn cap is taken up by the zombified piglins coming out of the gold farm. And I guess the nearby chickens, although there's not that many chickens, there's maybe like 50 or 60 or 70 or 80, something like that. So fish no longer spawn, but if you throw eggs, I think you can still create more chickens. You see what I mean? So they do have like a spawn cap, but the spawn cap doesn't quite cover everything. And like if you breed cows, they still breed. If you breed sheep, they still breed. Even though elsewhere a spawn cap has been reached for things like fish. So it's a cap, but not really. Some things can go past the cap.